The Tritons going to get back as fast as they can with 34 and 2, bringing it back down. 34 passing off to 2. 2 staying on the left side. Driving it down the middle to lay up and just miss. Got 14-12 for Kirkwood again, driving it back down. 12 taking her time, taking some advice from her coach. Passing off to number 1 in the right lane, back up to 23 at the top, and then back to 12, who's in the left lane. And number 14 at the top, verging over to the left, back to 12. 12 definitely trying to find an opening, passing off to 23. Back to 1, who's in the middle, who just misses the layup. Passing off to 20, who's going to drive down to the left lane into the middle and pops it up for the 2, and that's going to be 20-26 for Iowa Central. We got number 12 with Kirkwood trying to bounce back from that as fast as they can. We got number 1 in the right lane, passing off to 12 in the left, to 14 in the left, then to 23, who's going to pass it off to number 1, who's going to pop it in from the middle to just miss, but 23 is going to try to get the rebound, but it's going to go over to 22 for Tritons. We got number 24 driving down the middle to 34, who's going to pop it from the outside to just sink it in. Popping the 3 for Iowa Central. We got 12 taking her time as she's running down. Kind of staying in the right lane here. While 12 is going to try to stay on it. Ooh, but 22 just cuts off 23, and that's going to be Iowa Central's ball. That's going to be a timeout for Kirkwood. So far, we got quite a good performance from both teams here. At first, it seemed like Kirkwood had a bit of an advantage here coming in. They were staying ahead on the scoreboard. But, as we can see in the second quarter, that Iowa Central is definitely coming back. And hopefully today they can get their win. But, at the same time, do not underestimate Kirkwood, as they have proven that they can stay ahead of this game. Kirkwood with the 18-1 record, and Iowa Central with the 11-7 overall record currently. So definitely some tough competition here, but it does seem like Kirkwood does have the bit of the advantage here, but it is hard to say how the rest of this game is going to go down. This game is up for grabs. It just depends on who wants the win more, and here we go. After the timeout, we got 4 minutes and 15 seconds left on the clock. The current score is 23-26. This is going to be Iowa Central's ball. We got 20 passing it off to 24. He's going to kind of drive towards the middle, off to the left. Passes it back to 20 to 34 in the right lane. Passing off to 22, who's going to pop it from the right. Just a miss, but for 24 to get the rebound and kind of drive it out. Towards the top to 34, back to 12. 12 going to try to drive it down the middle lane, but get blocked by 14 in Kirkwood. Then passing off to 22 by Iowa Central, popping it up to just miss. 20 from Kirkwood, rebounds, passing off to 12. 12 is going to try to run down, passing off to 14 in the right lane, to 23, who's going to make the 2 in the middle lane. We got 24 and 34, bringing the ball down. 24 driving it down to the middle lane, passing off to 34. 32 shooting for the 3, but just missing as 20 for Kirkwood gets the rebound, passing off to 12. Then we got number 12 for the Tritons getting the rebound and bringing it down. She's going to pass it off to the right lane, 24. 24 going for the 3 and just missing, as 12 for Kirkwood is going to get the rebound and drive it down to the right lane, towards the middle, off to the left. Getting out to 14. 14 is just going to miss the 3, as 22 gets the rebound, passing off to 24. Taking her time, saving that energy, and I respect it. Staying in the middle, kind of try to verge off to the left a little bit, passing it back into the middle to 34. 34 going to try to push in and make the layup, and she just misses, as number 1 for Kirkwood gets the rebound, bringing it down the left lane. She's going to pass it off to 24 for Kirkwood and just miss it. 23 for Kirkwood, my bad. As number 12 is going to get the ball and bring it down for Iowa Central. Staying in the right lane. Passing off to 24, who's in the right. 22 trying to set a pick on 12. Back to 34 at the top of the lane. Back to 12, driving it down the middle, and she's going to go in for the layup and just make it. Coming in 25-28 for Iowa Central. Got number 12 staying in the middle, driving it down, coming in, passing off to the left lane to number 14. 14 trying to drive it in, passing it off to number 20. 20 is going to get a bit of a scramble there. Number 24 and 12. Number 34 getting the ball and passing it off to 24. She's going to try to stay at the top. Pick and choose, taking instructions from her coach. Setting up a play. Passing off to 34. 34 is going to drive it into the middle and just miss the layup. As 14 is going to get the rebound and try to drive it in as quick as she can. Coming in from the left, we got number 1. Ooh, 20 just swiping the ball, but it's going to be Kirkwood's ball. So we got Kirkwood's ball. We got number 14 passing the ball in. We got 1 minute and 16 seconds on the clock, with the current score being 25-28 in the second quarter. All right, number 14 for Kirkwood, going to pass it in to number 1. Number 1 staying in the left lane. Passing off to number 20 to 23 for Kirkwood. Passing it back off to 24 to shoot for 3 and sinks it. Coming in for 31. This total score being now 25-31. But 24 and 34 are going to do a little exchange as they're coming down the court. Off to 20 in the left lane. Coming to 12 in the left as she drives it in. Passing off to 34 to just miss the shot. 23 gets the rebound for Kirkwood. Passing off to 12. Coming down to the left. Off to the left, staying in the left lane, passing off to 1. 1 passing off to 23, back to 14 in the right lane. Passing it back off to 12, who's staying at the top of the left. To 23, top of the middle, and sinks it in for a 3. Ooh, Kirkwood. All right, Iowa Central's ball back again. Ooh, seems to be a bit of a problem. You know, 14 for Kirkwood, going to pass it in to number 12. Number 12 signaling to her teammates as she passes it off to number 1 in the left lane. 20 for Kirkwood trying to set a pick. Passing off to 23 to just miss the 3. And 34 for the Tritons gets it. Pass it off to number 10 in the right lane as she drives it. Going towards the middle to try to go for the layup and just misses it. And that is going to be the end of the second quarter. The current score is 25-34. That's going to be halftime. So far, it's hard to say whose game this is. Right now, Kirkwood does, I would say, have the advantage, but I wouldn't underestimate either of these teams. They have shown how determined that they are to win this game. They have showed an incredible amount of heart. So it really all depends on who wants the win more. All right, we're coming back into the third quarter. We got about 40 seconds left. As you can see, the teams are all getting ready to go. This is it. We are about to see who wants this win more. Both teams have showed, both the Iowa Central Tritons and the Kirkwood Eagles have shown how much heart and dedication that they want this win. But it depends who's willing to put in the most work to get this win here. What we're about to see. We're about to jump into this next quarter right here with 24 for the Tritons. Now we got number 24 passing off to 20, back to 24. 24 bringing it over to the right lane. But he's going to drive it off to the left and pass it off to 22 in the middle, off to 20 in the right. She's going to shoot for the 3 and sink it in. That's going to be 28-34 for Tritons. But as we can see, that Kirkwood is not going to answer well to that as 2 brings it down, passing off to 50 over to 1 who's on the left side, staying at the top, to 14 at the top. Back to 50, who's going to drive it in on the right to the middle, back out to the top. Going to shoot for the 3, but just miss, and Kirkwood's going to get the rebound. Number 14 is going to put it up for 2, bringing them up to 36 for Kirkwood. We got that Kirkwood is definitely trying to play a strong defense right now in Iowa Central. I think they've realized that they can't really slack off on their defensive game here. So we can see number 12 in the right lane, bringing it towards the middle to 22 at the top. Off to 20 in the left lane, then to 24. 24 going to bring it in to just miss. Couldn't tell if that was a shot or a pass, but we got 12 playing some hard defense on number 14 as she brings it down the middle. And we got number 1 driving it down the middle to just miss the shot. And this is going to be Kirkwood's ball. We got number 2 going to pass it in. And we got number 2 passing off to 23 in the right lane. Passing off to 2 to 14 at the top, then to 23 in the middle, and she's going to put it up for 2. We got Iowa Central taking their time. We got 24 and 34 bringing the ball down, and 24 is going to slam it in through the middle. Passing off to 22 in the left lane, then to 20 in the left to shoot for the 3 and just miss. But 34 gets the rebound, bringing it in the middle. Try to get the layup, but just misses. Number 15 gets the number 50 for Kirkwood gets the ball. It's going to be Kirkwood's ball. We got number 14 for Kirkwood passing the ball into number 2, and they're going to drive it down. We got number 2 bringing it in, taking their time. So we got number 12 for Tritons playing some good defense. We got number 1 getting the ball from number 50, going to drive it in for a layup and get the 2 for Kirkwood. Current score 28-40. With 8 minutes on the clock, we got 34 and 24 bringing the ball down as usual. We got 34 trying to find a good opening here. So she's going to pass it off to 24, who stays at the top of the lane, passing off to 20 in the right. She's going to pass it back off to 22 to stay at the top of the lane. Got 24 in the left top. Ooh, that's going to be an over the head. I believe that's going to be 2 shots for number 20 for the Tritons. And she sinks it in, bringing the Tritons to 29. Let's see if she can even it up. Twins going to put it up and sink it in to even up the numbers. We got 30-40. All right, Kirkwood's going to call a timeout. We're going to see how this goes. As we can see, both teams are definitely playing very aggressive today, but also seem to be playing it safe at certain points. They seem to drive it down from the other side of the court really fast. But once they get over to the other side, they start to like strategically plan it out a little bit more and play it a bit more safe. As you can see that they tend to stay outside of the main circle, maybe to just get a 3 or to just find a good opening to drive it in. But it's hard to say. currently we got 7 minutes and 43 seconds, and this current score being 30 for Tritons and 40 for Kirkwood in the third quarter. All right, that's going to kick us back into the third quarter. We got 24 for Tritons passing the ball. Oop, nope, that is incorrect. We got number 14 for Kirkwood passing the ball in. It seemed to be a bit of a miscommunication there. So we got number 14 passing off to number 2. They're going to bring it down to the right, back off to the middle to number 20 for Kirkwood. Kirkwood passing it off in a little fake there off to number 1. Passing back to 20, she's going to drive it left into the middle. She's going to just miss that. But 34 for the Tritons is going to get the rebound, passing it off to number 24. And she's going to bring it down the right lane, kind of verge off to the middle, but pass it off to number 12 in the right lane as well. Staying towards the top, but going to try to work her way into the middle, pass it off to 34. Back to 22 from the top and sinking the ball for 32. We got number 2 passing off to number 1 for Kirkwood. Number 2 trying to find an opening here, trying to get a little bit of backup, passing off to 20. 20 is going to pass it back off to number 2 as number 2 is going to drive it in the left, but believe that may have been a foul on Kirkwood. All right, it is now Iowa Central's ball. We got 34 and 24. 34 passes it off to 24. So they're going to work their way in, but Kirkwood is not slacking on their defense. They are staying on them. They're going to be pressing them a little bit. So number 24 stays at the top of the lane. Looking to find some help, passing off to number 12. Number 12 passing off to number 22 to put it up and to just miss, but 34 gets the rebound. And misses the shot, just barely. Now there's going to be 2 shots for Iowa Central, number 34. From what I've been seeing so far, there's a lot of emotion in this game. There are certain players who are getting very frustrated, but also players just backing each other up. And 34 is going to make that for 33 here. And she sinks it in to even up to 34. All right, we're back to Kirkwood. We got number 23 and number 12 bringing it in, passing off to number 1 to 14 at the top, back to 12 in the left lane. Left lane going to bring it up towards the middle top, back off to the right to 14. 23 going to set a pick for 14. 14 going to pass. 23 going to set it off to 20. 20 driving down the middle to just miss the shot for 34 for the Tritons to get the rebound. Passing off to number 24. 24 coming in the left lane. Passing off to 22. 22 looking for the opening to shoot the shot and just misses it. But 34 gets the rebound and goes in. Just get blocked out. Got number 12 moving in fast, coming in the right lane. I think that might have been a foul on Iowa Central. So we got number 23 staying at the top, passing off to 14. 14 staying on the right, passing it back up to 23, passing off to 32. Oh, but the Tritons are going to take that. And 34 and 24 are going to bring it back to the other side. 24 looking for a good opening or some backup here. Getting it off to 22, passing it back up to 24. She's going to stay in the left, but try to drive it in, and she gets it up, giving us the 2. Getting Iowa Central up to 36 against 40. They are coming back pretty quickly here. We got number 1 for for Kirkwood. We got number 12 moving back up to the top, passing back off to number 1. Number 1 staying in the right lane, but also trying to keep her distance. Tries to move in a little bit, pass it back off to number 12. 14 going to try to drive in from the left to just get stopped, but then puts it back up for 2, bringing him up to 42 for Kirkwood. We got 24 and 22 bringing down the ball for Iowa Central. 24 looking for an opening here, staying at the top of the lane, trying to take her time, be patient, but don't got a whole lot of time to spare. We got 34 trying to drive the ball in here, but she keeps getting stuffed. That's going to be a travel on 34 there, unfortunately. That's going to be a timeout for Kirkwood. It is really hard to say whose game this is, because anything can happen. But the current score is 36-42 with 4 minutes and 28 seconds left in the third quarter. So we still got a whole nother quarter after this. But it seems like Iowa Central is definitely looking to grab this comeback here. But it's hard to say. I would just say that they need to maybe up their defense a little bit more. It seems like Kirkwood is definitely coming in with the more aggressive defense to keep Iowa Central away. But they've still managed to break through and get on into the basket. I feel like Iowa Central needs to manage to do the same against Kirkwood, because Kirkwood has shown that they don't mess around when they have their defense. Looks like we're going to jump back into the third quarter here, see how the rest of this period plays out. But like I was saying earlier, there does seem to be a lot of emotion put into this game, which is good, but you can't let the emotion get ahead of you too much, because you will wear yourself out once in a while. So we're going to start off with Kirkwood here, number 14 and 12 bringing the ball down. 12 staying at the top, playing it a little more safe than usual, passing off to 23 at the top right. Going to pass it off to number 1. Looks like she's going to try to maneuver around, passing off to 23, who's going to shoot from the top just to miss, but 34 for Tritons to get the rebound. Passing off to 24. 24 going to pass it off to 22. To just slip out of the ball. Bringing it over to Kirkwood again. Got number 14 passing off to number 12 for Kirkwood. Got 4 minutes left on the clock in this quarter. Got number 12 bringing it down in. We got 12 on 12 here. Tritons and Kirkwood. So we got number 1 passing the ball off to number 12 for Kirkwood. 12 passing off to 14 to 23, back to 14. 14 staying towards the top to shoot for 3, and she sinks it in, bringing the score to 36-45. We got Triton's ball. Number 22 passing it off to 24, driving into the middle from the left to shoot. Got number 20 shooting from the left to just miss it, but 12 is going to get the rebound. Passing it off to 24 at the top of the lane. Passing it back off to 12. 12 is going to play it safe, pass it back off to 20, passing to 24 in the left, back to 34 in the left. Looks like she's going to shoot for 3 to just miss it. It's Kirkwood's ball. Looks like we got 23 and 12 driving it back down to the lane. 12 staying in the left lane, but 23 staying at the top, passing off to 1 in the top of the right lane, passing it back off to 14, who's going to shoot for the 3 and just miss it. We got 34 for the Tritons and 24 for the Tritons, driving it back down. It definitely looks like the Tritons are definitely trying to play it a little more strategic than Kirkwood here. As you can tell, usually when they get to the top of the other side of the court, looks like they're definitely trying to analyze their openings here and just try to find whatever backup that they can, which is good. You know, you want to take your time, but not too much time. We got Kirkwood's ball again. We got number 5 and number 12 bringing the ball down. Number 12 passing to 23. 23 is going to pass it back off to 12. Passing off to 5. 5 is going to drive it down to the right lane to go for the layup and sinks it in. bringing the score to 36-47. Kirkwood staying ahead here. We'll see if Iowa Central can get the comeback or not. So we got 24 staying at the top of the lane. As you can see, she's kind of analyzing her openings here. 22 trying to set a pick on 12. 24 going to pass it off to 10, staying at the top right of the lane, passing off to 34 in the bottom right lane. Back up to the top of the lane to 24. Looks like we got a bit of an issue here. Whatever happened there, hopefully both players are okay. All right, we're going to jump back into this game here. We got number 10 for the Tritons passing off to 20 at the top of the lane, bringing it down the right, back off to 10. 10 going to drive it into the middle, but pass it off to 12 at the top of the lane, shoot for 3, and that's a 3 for the Iowa Central Tritons here, bringing it up to 39-47. Iowa Central is definitely looking to get this comeback here, but we got Kirkwood, number 12, driving the ball and passing it off to 3 in the right lane, bringing it up to the top middle, back to 5 at the top left, down to 12, kind of merging up to the left, to the top left here, off to 23, back to 5, bringing it into the middle, passing off to 32, going to shoot from a distance, but 5 is going to get the rebound, passing back off, and looks like Iowa Central is going to get the ball out of there, making this Kirkwood's ball. And we got 23 for Kirkwood, passing the ball in. Ooh, but Iowa Central is going to get the rebound with number 12, driving it into the left lane to make the 2. That's bringing it up to 41. We got 41-47 with a minute and 10 seconds left in the third period. Iowa Central is desperately looking for this comeback here, but they're doing a good job at playing their cards right. We got number 3 for Kirkwood, passing off to 23. That's going to be a travel on 23 for Kirkwood, unfortunately. I'm starting to see that Iowa Central is definitely playing their game a little bit more strategically than Kirkwood. Kirkwood is definitely using a lot more aggression in terms of, instead of like being more strategic, how Iowa Central is. Iowa Central is definitely taking their time, but also rushing when they know when to. And 34 is going to shoot it from the left lane to sink it in, bring it up to 43-47. We got about 35 seconds left in the third quarter here. We got number 12 for Kirkwood bringing the ball down. Got number 3 staying in the right lane, off to 12 in the top left, bringing it down to 5 in the bottom left, up to 32 in the top left, bringing it back to 3 to 20 to 12, who's going to try to bring it in. It looks like a bit of a push there. Looked like a bit of a scruffle there. It's hard to tell what happened. I believe refs are calling it a push. So that's going to be Kirkwood's ball. We got number 5 who's going to toss the ball in here. Going to see how the rest of this quarter plays out with 18 seconds left. Number 12 for Kirkwood's going to bring it to the top of the lane and play it a bit more safe here. That's what they need to do. If they can kill the time here, then they might be okay. They're definitely going to soak up as much time here, but it looks like 5's actually going to shoot for the 3 and just miss it. It looks like Iowa Central is going to get the rebound, but it's going to go out at just the last second, and that concludes the third period in this explosive match between the Iowa Central Tritons and the Kirkwood Eagles. The current score is 43 for the Iowa Central Tritons and 47 for the Kirkwood Eagles, bringing us into the fourth and final quarter. It is extremely hard to say how this last match is going to go. As you can tell, Kirkwood is definitely playing with a bit more aggression, and Iowa Central is being a bit more strategic, but they can definitely even each other out and counter each other pretty well if used correctly. It's hard to say how the rest of this game is going to play out, but time will tell. All right, looks like we're going to be hopping into the fourth and final quarter here. Yeah, number 12 for Kirkwood bringing the ball and passing off to 3 in the top left to 32 at the top of the lane. Trying to shoot for the 3, but just misses. And looks like number 10 for Iowa Central is going to get the rebound. Her and 34 are going to try to bring it down. Kind of driving in the middle here. Number 10 is going to kind of stay at the top plate. Safe pass off to number 12 in the top left. Passing it down to 24 in the bottom left. Trying to drive it in from the left lane. Passing it out to 10 all the way at the top. 20 is going to shoot it from the 3 and just missed, but 5 for Kirkwood's going to get the rebound, pass off to 12, and 12 is going to try to drive it in here. Looks like she's going to merge in the right lane, but kind of back out a little bit, passing off to number 23. 23 is going to pass in, and 32. Looks like 32 is going to go in and just miss the layup, and 34 for Iowa Central is going to get the rebound. This is going to be Iowa Central's ball. All right, we got number 34 and 24 bringing the ball down once again. Number 24 definitely taking her time here, trying to conserve some of that energy. We got number 12 playing a little bit of defense, but then 24 is going to pass it off to number 10. Back to 12, staying at the top lane. 24 is going to try to pick and choose here, passing it off to 34 in the top left, kind of driving it towards the middle a little bit. Passing it off to 24 at the top right of the lane, trying to work her way to the middle, passing back off to 34, who's going to try to drive in. I believe that was a foul on Iowa Central. Now we got number 5 for Kirkwood, passing it into number 12 here. We can see that number 12 for Kirkwood is definitely definitely playing with a lot of aggression and speed here, which is good because she definitely knows how to utilize both of them to her advantage. As you can tell, it is giving Iowa Central a bit of a hard time here. She's going to drive it to the middle lane and pop it up to number 3 at the top right, who's going to shoot it in and just sink it, bring the score for 43-49. This is definitely becoming a bit more of a close game. We got about 8 minutes left on the clock. We got 24 for Iowa Central, passing it off into 22. Who's going to try to shoot it in from the middle and just missing it. Number 50 for Kirkwood's going to get the rebound and pass it off to number 12. Number 12 seems to be taking her time a bit more here. Kind of playing it a little bit more strategically here, which is definitely smart. Passing it off to 23, who's going to try to drive it into the right middle. Just missed, but looks like we got a bit of a hassle here. It's going to be a push. A foul on Kirkwood. We got Iowa Central's ball here. We got number 20 subbing in for number 50 on Kirkwood. Got number 24 popping the ball off to number 12 at the top right lane. Popping it into 22, who's in the bottom right, and sinks the ball in for 2. Bringing Iowa Central up to 45-49. Seems like Kirkwood is definitely taking a bit more of their time here, playing it a little more strategically, which is definitely what they should do in this scenario. 12 is going to try to shoot from the outer rim just to miss, but 20 is going to get the rebound, and then Iowa Central is going to... Looks like we got a bit of a problem here. It's kind of hard to tell what happened there. We got number 5 for Kirkwood, who's going to pass it on in here. It's kind of a hard opening to look for. But we got number 12 for Iowa Central, who received the ball, passing it off to 34. 34 passing it back off to 24, who's going to stay at the top lane here. Keep her distance, as number 3 plays a lot of defense on her. 24 is going to try to drive it on in. I believe that's going to be 2 shots for 24 on the Tritons. Got about 7 minutes left on the clock. Current score being 45-49 in the fourth and final quarter. 24 is going to put it up just to miss, unfortunately. Teammates definitely backing her up. It's always good to see that. It's always good to see some nice hyping up from your teammates. Got 24 about to put it up again just to sink it in to bring it up to 46 for the Iowa Central Tritons. But it looks like the Kirkwood Eagles are definitely going to try to bounce back from that. Also playing it a little bit slower as well. 12 is going to pass it on into number 20. 20 is going to stay in the middle but pass it off to 14. As 14 is going to try to shoot from the outer rim just to sink it in, bringing them up to 51. Total score being 46 Tritons and 51 Eagles right now. We got the Iowa Central Tritons bringing it down with 24. 24 popping it into 22 off to 10 on the outer rim. Back into 22, going to try to drive it in from the right. Pop it in from the left and just miss. And 23 for Kirkwood's going to get the rebound. But 34 is going to stay on her from Iowa Central. But 24 is going to pass it off to number 12. 12 is going to play it a bit smarter here. Pass it off to number 14 in the right lane. 14 passes off to number 3 at the top of the lane. Passing off to 20, back to 12 in the outer left lane. Going to try to drive it in here all the way to the right side. Passing off to number 14. 14 is going to sink it in for the 3. Bringing us up to 46 to 54. And it looks like Iowa Central is going to call a timeout here. Seems to be a bit of an issue. I believe it's all good now. I believe Kirkwood definitely did throw Iowa Central off with that one, because at first they were definitely playing with a lot more aggression, but definitely weren't showing it a whole lot. But they were definitely trying to drive it in more times than Iowa Central was. And Iowa Central was definitely trying to play it a little bit more strategic. But as you can see, that Kirkwood kind of switched up the whole game plan and started adding aggression and strategy into their game plan here. And I don't believe that Iowa Central was expecting that. It was hard to say. And we got number 10 going for a shot here. Bringing Kirkwood up to 55. Going for free throws here. Popping it up, bringing it up to 56. Safe one. No guarding for these ones. All right, we're going to pop back in with about 6 minutes left on the clock in the fourth and final quarter. The total score being 46 to 56. Iowa Central's got to pick up some slack here. Now, they've definitely been playing a good game today. In all honesty, both Kirkwood and Iowa Central have. But we got number 2 for Kirkwood, going to drive it in. Taking some advice from her coaches here. Going to try to fade up, pass it in to 20. 20 passing off to 3 to back to 2. 2's going to sink it in, bringing them up to 58. Iowa Central's definitely got to dig for that comeback here. It's hard to say what's to come next. 24 is going to pass off to 12. 12 is going to pass it into 22. Back off to 12 is going to try to drive it in from the right lane. Popping it up in the left just to miss. And looks like Kirkwood, number 20, is going to get the rebound. Passing it back off to 2. And looks like 2's going to... Yeah, it looks like 2's definitely taking a bit more time here. Trying to look for a bit of an opening. And for some backup, passing off to number 3 for Kirkwood. Off to 20 at the top of the lane, driving into the middle, passing it off to the right to 23. Looks like 23 is going to try to pop it up from the right lane and just miss barely. And Iowa Central, number 34, is going to rebound for the Tritons. And we got number 24, bring the ball in, playing it a bit safe. And number 34 staying at the top right lane, passing off to 22 at the top of the middle lane, back off to 24 at the top left lane, bringing it from the left side, popping it in for 2, bringing the Iowa Central Tritons up to 48. Looks like we got a bit of another timeout here. Iowa Central's definitely got to play things a bit more aggressive now, because the clock is ticking. Current score being 48 to 58, with 4 minutes and 53 seconds left on the clock in the fourth and final quarter. It's hard to say how the rest of this is going to play out. I would definitely say what Iowa Central needs to do is definitely add a bit more aggression. Try to drive the ball in a bit more. Look for some openings. Use them screens. Screen them up as well as they can. Try to create some openings for your own teammates as well. And then Kirkwood has definitely been playing this very well, utilizing aggression and speed and strategy all together to kind of create their own little personal trump card here. But it's hard to say how the rest of this quarter is going to play out. As you can see, all players desperately listening to their coaches here. This is good. You can definitely tell that both teams are definitely trying to get any other advantage that they can here. You know, most players you'd see would just come in, get some water, kind of space off a little bit. Not really space off too much, but definitely what I did when I played basketball back in middle school. But no, we can definitely see that Iowa Central and Kirkwood are definitely going for this win here. Kirkwood is just trying to keep that score up as much as they can, and Iowa Central is just digging for the comeback here. It's hard to say how the rest of this game is going to play out, but we're going to kick it off here with number 14 for Kirkwood passing in to number 2 for Kirkwood. Number 2 going to bring the ball down, and number 12 for Iowa Central going to be playing some decent defense here, but also keeping her distance at the same time. Kirkwood going to pass it off to number 20 over to number 1 in the right lane, but looks like we got a bit of a foul on Kirkwood there. We got number 24 and number 20 for Iowa Central going to bring the ball down here. Bit of a different mix-up. We've mostly been seeing 34 and 24 bringing the ball down, but this is something new. We got 24 bringing the ball down, kind of in the left lane here, going to try to drive it into the left to pop it up, to sink the 2, bringing Iowa Central up to 50-58. We got Kirkwood going to clap back from that a little bit to try to speed things up. We got number 2 keeping distance here, but popping it into the middle over to 23. 23 passing it off to number 20, down to the left lane, passing it off to 2 to shoot for the 3, but just miss it. Number 14 is going to get the rebound, passing it off to 23, who's at the top of the left lane. Passing it back off to the top to number 14. 14 going to pass it off to number 2 for Kirkwood. Kirkwood going to kind of keep distance here. Smart idea. Ooh, but number 34 is going to swipe the ball out of 20's way. We got Kirkwood's ball here. Number 14 is going to pop it in. Number 14 looking for an opening, passing the ball off, and the number 20 in the bottom left lane, off to 23 in the middle lane, who's going to put it up and sink the 2 for Kirkwood, bringing us to 50-60 with 3 minutes and 45 seconds left on the clock in the fourth quarter. We got number 24 for Iowa Central bringing the ball down, kind of staying off to the right lane, but going to shoot for the 3 and just miss. We got number 20 for Kirkwood, passing off to number 2 for Kirkwood, bringing it down the left lane, over to 1 in the top left, bringing it down to 23 in the bottom lane. Bring it off to number 1 at the top left lane. Back off to 23, staying at the top left. Going to pop it off to number 2, staying at the top left. Staying in the left lane, we got number 1 driving it in, popping up the layup, but just missing. We got 20 for Kirkwood, rebounding it, passing back off to 23 at the top lane. Is going to sink for the 3, bringing us to 50-63. Iowa Central's definitely got to put a bit more aggression here. If they want to dig for this comeback, they got to put a bit more speed and aggression here, but also play it safe at the same time. Looks like Kirkwood's going to get the ball and try to drive it to the other side with 23. Oh, but looks like we got a bit of a foul there. The foul on Iowa Central. What an explosive final quarter we got here, without a doubt. Both teams definitely putting their full hearts into this game, without a doubt. We got number 2 for Kirkwood, bringing the ball back up to the top, popping it into number 1 at the top left, back up to the top to 23, bringing it into the right lane, back over to the left with number 1, popping it off to 14. 14 staying at the top of the lane. And this is going to be Iowa Central's ball now. We got number 20 passing it off into 24 for the Tritons. Number 24 bringing it down into the middle. Definitely, as you can see, these players are definitely a lot more spaced out. We got 12 trying to... Oh, looks like we got a bit of a double dribble there for Iowa Central. Iowa Central going to call a timeout here. We got 2 minutes and 23 seconds left on the clock, with the score being 50 for the Tritons and 63 for Kirkwood Eagles. This game definitely does, by right now standards, definitely does look like this is Kirkwood's game to win, but you cannot doubt Iowa Central, and with 2 minutes and 23 seconds, because they have shown that they are very anxious for this comeback, and without a doubt, they could get this. But it's just hard to say. I would definitely say what Iowa Central needs to do is add a bit more aggression into their game plan, but don't get too carried away, because then that could lead to too many fouls and getting a player fouled out, which is the last thing that I believe that Iowa Central needs right now. But Kirkwood's doing a pretty good job at keeping themselves contained while using aggression, speed, and a bit of strategy. But it's hard to say how the rest of this quarter is going to go, but we're going to see. As you can see, most of the players here are definitely exhausted, without a doubt. But I don't blame them. They have put their hearts into this game. And mad respect goes out to every player who's willing to make it today. So we got Kirkwood starting off with the ball. We got number 2 passing in number 1. Number 12 from the Tritons is going to try to get the ball there. Number 12 playing some good defense on number 1. Number 1 for Kirkwood, popping off to 23, back to 2 at the top left of the lane, kind of bringing it back to the middle top. Got Iowa Central definitely playing a bit more aggressive defense here. Number 2 passing it off to 50 for Kirkwood. Over to 14, the back to 2. 2's going to try to sink it from the outside, popping it for 2, bringing them to 65 for Kirkwood. We got about a minute and 45 seconds left on the clock. We got Iowa Central, number 24, bringing it in, but just missing. Looks like this is going to be Iowa Central's ball. We got number 12 for Iowa Central, who's going to pop the ball in here. We got number 20 coming in for number 50 for Kirkwood. We got 12 for Iowa Central popping off to number 20, who's going to stay in the right lane, passing it off to 34 in the right lane, who's going to try to drive it in and just wait for the good opportunity, but just barely misses. Kirkwood's going to get the rebound with number 20 over in the right lane, passing off to number 2 for Kirkwood, bringing it into the left here, passing it off to number 14 in the left lane. 23 is going to set a pick on number 20 in Iowa Central. Number 2 for Kirkwood, staying in the right lane, trying to dribble the ball here, passing it off. Ooh, but just getting nicked out of the way. Number 20 for Iowa Central going to drive it in down the right lane, but she has 23 in her way. Going to pop it in to sink the 2. Bringing us up to 52 to 65 with about a minute left. Iowa Central can still go for this comeback if they really fight for it here. Without a doubt, I wouldn't start celebrating too early, but it's hard to say because anything can happen in a minute. All right, we got number 20 for Iowa Central going for one shot, but just misses. We got number 34 for Iowa Central getting the rebound and popping it back up for 2, bringing Iowa Central up to 54 to 65 with about 57 seconds left on the clock. Iowa Central is going to call a timeout here, I believe. Oh, nope, my mistake. Actually, no. There is going to be a timeout. Definitely an intense last minute. This is going to be the expense of all their hard work put into these last 50-some seconds. It's going to be a tough one, but we're going to have to see. Both teams definitely are looking a bit exhausted here. Definitely the best thing I would say that Iowa Central can do right now is just try to drive that ball in as much as they can. Play aggressive defense, trying to get the ball back as much as they can. The best thing for Kirkwood to do is just keep the ball away. Play it extremely safe, but don't waste a lot of time. Just try to keep the ball away. Maybe shoot for threes if they can. Try to just play good defense, doing whatever they can to keep Iowa Central from scoring. But Iowa Central also needs to just play hard defense, play aggressive, try to get the ball in there as much as they can if they want to try to get this comeback. Which is very possible. Because 57 seconds in a basketball game, that's a lot of time. So it's time to see what happens here. Now we got number 10 for Iowa Central popping the ball in. Number 10 is going to pop it in. 24 staying in the left lane. 34 setting a pick for 24. 24 going to drive it down to the middle, passing off to 34. But Kirkwood's going to get the ball with number 14 passing off to 2, staying in the left lane. Got Iowa Central staying on her, too. Looks like we got a bit of a foul here. Good sportsmanship there from number 24, helping number 2 up from Iowa Central. That's what we like to see. With all the aggression and heart that's put into this game, it's always nice to see some good sportsmanship here. And it looks like number 20 is going to come in for number 12 on Iowa Central. All right, we got number 2 for Kirkwood shooting. Just sinks it in, bringing him up to 66 for Kirkwood here. Going to get the one more shot. Pop it up, sinks it in again, bringing the total score to 54-67 with about 40 seconds left on the clock here. Iowa Central is definitely going to try to drive it in here with number 24 going towards the middle lane. Kind of merging off to the right, trying to shoot the 3, but just misses. Number 14 for Kirkwood is going to get the ball with number 34 staying on her. Number 14 for Kirkwood, passing it off to number 2. Going to try to drive it in here, try to stay in the right lane. Ooh, but it looks like we got a bit of a problem here. Looks like a foul on number 2 from Kirkwood. It's going to be Iowa Central's ball. Let's see if they can get this comeback here. It's unlikely, but I wouldn't doubt them. With about 18 seconds left on the clock, we got number 10 from Iowa Central going to drive the ball in from the left lane and sink it in for the 2. We got 56-64 with about 13 seconds left on the clock here in the fourth quarter. Not sure what's going on here, but it's hard to say. We got a 30-second timeout for Iowa Central here. That's good. That's good. Get as much advice to your players as they can. With about 14 seconds left on the clock, it is hard to say how this is going to go. It does definitely look like this is in Kirkwood's favor, but with that still 14 seconds on, it could just be a total flip of the books. But it's hard to say. All right, looks like we're about to find out how this game's going to end. With about 14 seconds left, the total score being 56-67. It's time to see how this all plays out. Will Iowa Central get the comeback of the night, or will Kirkwood finish off Iowa Central here? Looks like this is going to be Kirkwood's ball with number 14 who's going to pop the ball in here. Number 14 passing it off to number 2. Number 2 kind of staying far distance here. Looks like a little bit of a problem. We got 2 shots from number 20 on Kirkwood here. Just misses the first shot. Number 20 from Kirkwood going to pop it up and sinks it in to bring it up to 68. Total score being right now 56-68 with about 10 seconds left in the game. We got 24 from Iowa Central who's going to look for an opening here to try to drive it in, try to shoot for the 3, and she sinks it in. We got about 3 seconds left, and it does look like this is Kirkwood's game. Kirkwood, number 2, going to drive it in. That's going to end the Iowa Central Tritons versus the Kirkwood Eagles girls game. It was an explosive match, I have to say. Definitely both teams put their heart into this. Mad respect to both teams, all the players, the coaches, everything. They definitely gave it their all, and they deserve nothing but respect for that. Up next, we're gonna have the men's basketball game. I believe we're gonna have the Iowa Central Tritons versus the Kirkwood Eagles, but this is gonna be the men's basketball game. And that game's going to be starting at 7 o'clock to finish off our night here. But right now, it looks like we're clearing off the floor a little bit here. But yeah, catch us back here at 7 o'clock when we cover the Tritons versus Eagles men's game, which hopefully will be an explosive bout. We'll see you then. Hello, welcome back. Today we got the Iowa Central Tritons versus the Kirkwood Eagles men basketball game. This is looking to be a pretty entertaining game today as Iowa Central puts the finishing touches on its regular season by welcoming number 20 ranked Kirkwood to Hodges Fieldhouse this Saturday night. So we're looking at the Tritons push the Des Moines area for the full 40 minutes, coming up short of pulling a road upset, 91-83. Javante Keck recorded a double-double, scoring 30 points and grabbing 10 rebounds with 3 assists, 3 steals, and 2 blocked shots. Keck made 8 three-pointers in the game, which places him second on the school's single-game list for made triples. The sophomore was 8 for 11 from deep. So this is looking so far to be a very interesting game. Currently, I believe Kirkwood is the men's basketball team for Kirkwood is overall 12-9, and Iowa Central is 6-14. It's interesting to see where this game is going to go today, but it does look like Kirkwood might have the advantage here, but I would never doubt the Iowa Central boys because they can definitely pull off some incredible stuff. The main things that it relies on, I would say, are the aggression, speed, defense, and the strategy. You know, definitely, I would say that Iowa Central, similar to how the girls played in the last game, I would say definitely take the time, be a little more strategic with how things are going to go. Kind of analyze the openings, analyze your opponents as well, because I feel like that's a bit of an underrated part, as most people just kind of analyze the team and not individual opponents. You definitely want to look out for some of the individual opponents and how they play the game as well, because one opponent may be a little more aggressive than another, and you might be able to exploit that to use against them in a certain way, essentially. But it's hard to say how this game is going to go, but I'm very interested to see what Iowa Central will do against Kirkwood and what Kirkwood will be able to do to possibly secure a win here, but we're going to see how Iowa Central pulls this off tonight. All right, we're coming into this game. Starting off with Iowa Central Tritons. Number 2 passing off to 50, up to 30 at the top of the lane. Bringing it down to the right. Going to drive it in from the right. And just barely missed the 2 there. We got Kirkwood, number 0, bringing the ball down here. Passing the ball off to number 3 in the top right lane. Passing it back off to 20 for Kirkwood. Back down to 23. Popping it off, but looks like Iowa Central is going to swipe that ball out of the way with number 30 bringing the ball back down. Moving down the right lane here, passing off to 2 at the top left, kind of verging off to the middle with number 50 coming in with the ball. Back off to 32, kind of pushing towards the top middle here, passing off to 20. Number 2 in the right lane, back to 30 at the top, middle lane, back off to 2. He's going to bring it towards the middle, off to 50 in the top left, bringing it into the middle, popping it back off to 30 to 2, shooting it from the 3 out from the left, just barely missed. And Kirkwood, number 2, is going to take the ball and pass it off to number 15, bringing it down on the right lane, passing it back off to number 2. Number 2 passing it off to 0 here. Iowa Central playing some pretty good defense here, but Kirkwood's doing a pretty good job evading their defense without a doubt. Yeah, Kirkwood definitely going in from the shooting a 3 there to kick off the scoreboard. All right, we got Iowa Central being a little maneuverable here, but definitely playing very strategically. So doing a pretty good job to keep distance and stay safe, as Kirkwood has been showing some pretty decent defense here, but also leaving a bit of an opening there for Iowa Central, number 20, to pop a 2 there, but just make the layup. Got Kirkwood driving it in from the left side here. Number 15 driving it in on the right to just pop it up, to sink it in. Definitely, you can already see the aggression and the strategy and the speed from the players already. They're definitely being very strategic. Both teams are. They're kind of evening each other out, as you can tell. Like, some of the strategies are countering one another. Number 15 for Kirkwood's going to miss that free throw. Number 2 is going to get the rebound with Iowa Central, passing off to number 30, then back to 2, bringing it down to the right lane, passing it all the way down to number 50 in the right lane, popping it off to 20, back to 2 in the top lane, back to number 30 in the bottom left lane, trying to evade out of that, passing it back up to number 2, back down to 30, looking for an opening here, passing it off all the way to number 20. Number 20 keeping distance, back off to 32, back to 50, who's going to try to drive it in here. But pass it off to 2, who stays open and just sinks it in. Singing the 3 for Iowa Central, evening up the scoreboard. We got number 15 for Kirkwood, driving it in on the right lane, passing off to number 3. We got number 2. Oh, looks like number 32 from Iowa Central is going to get the ball and pass it off to number 2 as they drive it down to the other side of the court. Number 2 looking to get in there from the free throw line, just sinks it in, putting Iowa Central ahead with 7-5 here in the first quarter. What an explosive first quarter that we have here today. We got Kirkwood looking for an opening here. Number 3 passing it off to, looks like number 15 shoots, and he lands the 2 shot. We got number 2 from Iowa Central coming down the right lane here, popping it off to number 20 top left, bringing it up to the middle, back to 30 who's in the top right, passing it off to number 32, staying towards the right here. 20's going to go for the 3 and just misses, as number 2 from Kirkwood is going to get the ball, pass it off to 0, up to 3. He's going to stay in the right lane, back up to 0, switching over to the left lane here with number 15, looking for an opening here. 2 ready to set a screen for his teammate there. Got number 3 from Kirkwood working around here. We got 0 shooting the 3 and just sinking it in, bringing the score to 7-10, putting Kirkwood ahead by 3 points. Got number 2 from Iowa Central working around here. They're definitely a little more spaced out. Got number 50 going for the shot, but just missing, as 3's going to get the rebound for Kirkwood and bring it down over here. Number 15 is going to drive in the layup from the left side and sink it in for Kirkwood, bringing them up to 12. Got Iowa Central definitely trying to move a bit faster here, but definitely play it a little more strategic. We got number 2 for Iowa Central moving over to the right lane, passing off to 20 in the top right, over to 30, moving towards the middle, up to 32. 50 with the 3, And he sinks it in. Bringing it 10-12. This is turning out to be a very close game so far. We got Kirkwood driving the ball in the left lane as fast as possible. And number 3 from Kirkwood trying to work around here. Well, Iowa Central's definitely holding down the middle lane without a doubt. We got number 15 trying to shoot the distance shot, and he lands it. Going in for the 2. Kirkwood definitely pressing here, playing a little more aggressive. As Iowa Central's working around it with number 50 and number 2. Trying to work their way up. Passing it off to number 32, who's going to try to drive it in from the right. Number 50 is going to keep distance. 32 is looking around. Kind of looking for the 3 there, but he's going to maneuver. Pass it off to number 33. He's going to pass it off 20-50 for the 3 and just misses as Kirkwood rebounds the ball with number 20 and number 0 pushing in here. Looks like 0 is going to go in from the left side, try to pop it up with the layup, but just misses. And number 50 from Iowa Central is going to get the ball. Drive it in from the left side, but 30 is going to try to drive it down the middle here. Got a little sloppy there, but we got number 20 from Iowa Central popping the ball up to even up the score here. Got 12-14 with about 14 minutes left in the first quarter. Looks like Iowa Central is going to call a timeout here. Definitely a great start to this quarter. As you can see, both teams are playing this extremely smart and extremely strategic as well. I definitely thought Kirkwood would play a little more aggressive as opposed to Iowa Central, but no, they seem to be kind of countering each other out here, playing a little bit evenly. As you can tell, I believe that it's going to be probably a back and forth scoreboard tonight. But once again, just like the last game, it's all about who wants to win more. But in this case, I guess it's just whoever's strategy works out a lot better. I will say, though, Kirkwood's defense definitely seems to be a bit more spread out when Iowa Central's playing offense. But whenever it's Iowa Central defending, they're definitely holding down the middle lane without a doubt. Definitely not letting anyone drive it from the left or the right side. But Kirkwood's going to try to look for an opening here, staying from the outside, as you can see. Number 4 passing off to 13 for Kirkwood, looking for an opening, but he's going to shoot the distance shot and just miss it. And 50 from Iowa Central is going to get the ball. Looks like we got a bit of a travel there on accident. We got number 4 for Kirkwood, who's going to throw it in here. Iowa Central playing some very good defense today, I have to admit. Kirkwood's definitely looking for an opening here. It definitely seems like that they're going to have to play the distance game for most of the night. Unless Iowa Central changes up their strategy here, you can definitely tell that they're holding down this left lane. And Kirkwood's definitely having a tough time trying to find an opening here, but they go for the layup and just miss. Got a bit of a scrap there. It's going to be Iowa Central's ball. We got number 50 from Iowa Central passing the ball in here. Kirkwood's definitely pressing here, not trying to let him get to the other side. Got 50 for Iowa Central, bringing it down on the right side, kind of merging towards the middle here, passing it back to 2. 2 passing it back to 50, staying in the right lane, kind of trying to work around here. As you can see, Kirkwood's definitely playing pretty good defensive game as well as Iowa Central, kind of evening each other out once again. 32 passing off to 30, staying on the right, passing off to the left with number 2 to 50 in the deep left. 30 trying to drive it into the middle and just gets tipped off. Kirkwood getting the ball and trying to move in fast enough before Iowa Central's defense can keep up, and they shoot for the 3 and sink it in, bringing the score to 12-17. Yeah, number 50 and number 2 bringing the ball down for Iowa Central once again, and number 50 is going to pass it off to number 2 here, staying in the right lane, also keeping the distance a bit. Number 50 trying to work around Kirkwood's defense. Back up to 50 at the top of the lane. Pass off to number 30. He's going to try to drive it in and just miss, and that's going to be a foul on Kirkwood. It's going to be 2 shots from number 30 on Iowa Central. He sinks the ball for Iowa Central, bringing the score up to 13. This is definitely a close game, folks, without a doubt. I'm definitely surprised to see both of these teams' defensive game, as they're playing very, very well. 30 for Iowa Central goes and just misses that other shot. So we got Kirkwood bringing the ball back down here with number 5. Definitely working together to try to break the middle lane defense there, to go in for the left layup and just miss. This is going to be Iowa Central's ball. Looks like we got 50 and 4 this time, bringing the ball down the lane here. While 30 kind of staying off to the side here. As you can see, Kirkwood's defense is definitely kind of up the ante here, without a doubt. And number 50 coming in at the left side, popping up to the middle, getting it over to 4 here. 4 passing it down to 24 in the right lane, moving up towards the middle. 30 staying in the top left, popping it to the middle where 32 is. 32 shooting it and just missing. Kirkwood definitely trying to make a speedy recovery here. Got Kirkwood trying to drive it in here. But Iowa Central catches on, gets the ball, and 50's bringing it back down here. 50 staying at the top middle lane, bringing it up to the right. I believe that is going to be... Looks like we got a foul and a timeout for Iowa Central. Definitely, without a doubt, that little section there, you could definitely tell the amount of defense that was being put in from both teams. Like I said earlier, with them countering each other out, that was a perfect example of that. Iowa Central's doing a good job of holding down the middle lane and kind of avoiding any layups for the other team, whereas Kirkwood's definitely trying to stay on Iowa Central as much as they can from even getting distance shots as well. As you can see that they're definitely that they're pressing their offensive game as much as they can as well, kind of forcing Iowa Central to have to use an extra player down on the other side of the court. Anxious to see how the rest of this game is going to play out. We got about 11 minutes left, with the score being 13-17. An extremely close game. All right, we're going to be hopping back into this quarter here. So unlike the last game, we're looking at 2 20-minute quarters. All right, we got Iowa Central starting off with the ball with number 4 passing it into number 30. 30 passing off to 50, over to 24. He's going to move into the right lane a bit, passing off to 4 on the way out. Passing it back down to 24, staying in the right lane, kind of trying to merge into the middle here. Number 4 going to try to keep a distance, maybe look for the distance shot, and he does, and he sinks it in. That's going to bring our score to 15-17 here. We got Kirkwood getting the ball with 15, passing it off to 5 in the right lane. 5 passing it off to 45 to the top middle. Back down to the left lane, kind of staying in the left lane here a little bit. Maybe looking for the layup, but is going to pass it over to 5 to kind of get that distance again. To try to get the layup in, and number 15 sinks the ball in for 2. Looking at 15 and 19 here. Iowa Central definitely looking to rush the ball here. Number 50 going to pass it back out to get some distance, and 30 is going to shoot for the 3 and just barely misses, and Kirkwood gets a rebound. We got number 15, number 40 bringing the ball back down for Kirkwood. Number 40 passing off to number 5 here. Number 5 kind of looking for an opening as well. Pass it off to 45 at the top middle. 45 passing off to number 15. 45 bringing it back up to get the layup on the left lane, bringing us up to 15-21. Looks like Kirkwood has definitely managed to find a way to break through Iowa Central's defense with their tough close quarters defense. You can definitely see that. I can definitely, in terms of offensive game, I would say that Iowa Central is definitely trying to keep some more range, whereas Kirkwood's definitely trying to get the ball in there and get more close range shots as much as they can. But I think both teams are kind of catching on to their bluff here. We got number 4 for Iowa Central passing the ball into number 2 in the right lane. Number 2 is going to pass off to 24 in the middle, passing it back up to 4, and he's going to slip up, and Kirkwood's going to get the ball with number 3, but 30 from Iowa Central is going to kind of bop the ball up here to get the number 2. Number 2 is going to pass it off to 50. 50 down to 4 in the right lane. He's going to shoot for the 3, and he sinks it in, bringing us up to 18-21 for the Tritons. We got Kirkwood starting off with the ball here. bringing us down. We got 45 and 15 bringing the ball over here. 15 passing off to 40. 40 going to try to drive it into the middle lane here. Kind of gets caught up, but he still goes for it and just misses. And Iowa Central gets a rebound with number 4 kind of working around here, trying to get down to the basket as fast as they can, but number 2 is going to shoot for the 3 and just barely miss it. And Kirkwood's going to get the rebound as number 3 is going to drive it down here on the right side, but stops, kind of looks for an opening. 0 going to pass it out to number 3. 15 going to try to drive down in the middle, and he gets the layup for 2. It's to 18-23 with about 9 minutes left in this first half. We got 1 free throw coming up for Kirkwood right here. Number 15 from Kirkwood going for the shot and just barely misses it. And I was essentially going to get the rebound with 40 passing it off to, 20 passing it off to number 2 for Iowa Central. Number 20 getting the ball back. Moving over to the right side where number 2 is going to be at the top right lane. Passing off to number 4. Number 4 is looking for the opening. Pass off to 50 in the bottom right lane. Number 3 is going to look for the opening here. Going to get slipped up. As Kirkwood gets the ball, passes it down, but Iowa Central gets the ball. Number 15 passing over to 2 here. 2 passing off to number 4 in the left lane. 4 is going to take the shot and sinks to 2. Bringing us up to 20-23 with about 8 minutes and 30 seconds left in our first half. Got number 15 from Kirkwood bringing the ball over to the left side. Maybe looking for the layup here, but it's hard to say. Because Kirkwood has been looking to play the range game as well. Looks like a bit of a push there. It's hard to say. It's good to have some good sportsmanship here, though, without a doubt. Looks like this is going to be Kirkwood's ball. As you can see, the Iowa Central's defense, they are definitely staying on him here. Because they know that Kirkwood's definitely looking for the more close range, trying to get them layups as well. But I wouldn't doubt their range game without a doubt. As 15 is going to kind of take a distance shot here and sinks it in for a 2, as you can see, bringing us to 20-25 with about 8 minutes left. We got number 2 from Iowa Central passing off to number 4, back to number 2, bringing us down to the left lane here. Number 2 kind of merging towards the middle lane here, off to 30 in the middle. And off to 4 on the right. Back to 20 on the left, going for the 3 and just barely misses. We got Kirkwood 0 here. Bringing the ball over to the left side, passing it to number 2 in the middle. Off to number 15 on the right here. Kind of trying to work around here, as you can see, Iowa Central's defense. Number 2 just trying to go for the layup, and he does manage to sink it in for 20-27. Got Iowa Central bringing the ball down here with number 4 and number 50. Bringing the ball. Number 4 staying on the right side here. Trying to work out a plan here with his teammates. Number 20 kind of bringing it up towards the middle to the right. With number 50 popping it down to 2 in the right lane. Number 2 passing off to 4 in the top left lane, who's going to drive down the middle, pop it over to number 30, who's going to go up for the layup and sink the 2, bringing us to 22-27 with about 7 minutes left in our first half. Got Kirkwood bringing the ball down over here. Looks like there's going to be a timeout for Iowa Central. Nope, Kirkwood timeout. Without a doubt, Iowa Central is definitely trying to bring that score back up. I think both teams have definitely caught on to each other's plans, so for either way, it'd be to kind of switch up the game plan here for both teams. Maybe Kirkwood tries to go for some more range shots, then try to push in for close quarters. Like, range shots are kind of a flip of a coin, without a doubt, but so can be layups and close quarter shots. So it's hard to say. Maybe Kirkwood will still try to drive in the ball as much as they can. Maybe Iowa Central will still try to take their three-pointers and farther distance shots. But we can see that Iowa Central has kind of been utilizing both close-up shots and long-distance shots. But it seems that they've been favoring more long-distance to three-pointer shots here. We got number 5 for Kirkwood popping the ball over to 0 here. 0 back to 2 at the top lane. Ooh, they're going to pass it down to number 45 in the bottom right lane, who's going to sink it for 2, bringing us to 22-29. We got Iowa Central number 4 and number 2 bringing the ball down here. Number 2 kind of staying in the right lane here. Switching 4 over to the number 2. Number 2 passing off to number 4 in the right lane. Over to 30. 30's going to try to drive it in here with a layup on the left side to sink it in for 2. With 24-29. With about 6 minutes left in our first half. We got 0 for Kirkwood. Kind of working around here. Number 2 kind of helping him find an opening. Passes off to number 5 in the right lane. Takes the distance shot and he sinks it in for 3. 24-32. As you can see, number 2 for Kirkwood is definitely trying to help out his teammates find an opening on the offensive part as much as they can. Here comes Iowa Central with number 20 passing off to 30 over to 50 in the left lane here. 50 passing it back to number 2. Number 2 keeping his distance, but passing off to 50. 50's going to go for the 3, and he sinks it in with 27-32. Iowa Central definitely favoring those distance shots and those three-pointers. Iowa Central also is playing some pretty good defense against Kirkwood right now. This Kirkwood is just kind of desperately trying to find an opening here and work their way in. Getting a little bit scrappy on the way, though. This is going to be Iowa Central's ball. There was a bit of a slip-up. Got number 2 and number 4 for Iowa Central bringing the ball down here. Number 2 kind of staying on the right here, trying to find some backup. Passing off to number 4, staying in the right lane. He's going to pass it off to number 30. It's going to kind of roll out of bounds here. Going to be for Kirkwood. Got number 5 from Kirkwood staying in the right lane. Kind of merging over to the left, and he's going to shoot for the distance. And just misses as Iowa Central gets the rebound. With number 30 passing off to 4. 4 merging in on the middle over to the right. Passing off to 20 to 30 to 5 for the 3. And he sinks it in. Bringing us to 30-32 with about 4.5 minutes left in our first half. We got Kirkwood staying line on their toes. Trying to go for the distance shot, but just missing it barely. Bit of a scrapple up front under the net. Looks like we got a bit of a push foul there. We got number 5 for Kirkwood driving it in for the layup. Number 4 is going to get the rebound from Iowa Central and bring it down to the right as he passes it down to 2 in the deep right lane. Looks like he's going to pass it off to number 4, who's up at the top middle. Number 2 is going to shoot for the 3. And he just barely misses it as Kirkwood's going to get the rebound. Zero's bringing it down in the right lane, the left lane. Number 4 is going to pass off to number 5 in the right, up to 40. 40's going to try to shoot for the... He shoots for the 2. Bringing us to 30-34. Number 2 passing off to 4 here. 4 passing it back to 2 as these 2 staying in the right, 4 staying in the left. 4 trying to move in, popping it from the left, sinking the 2. Iowa Central getting very close to tying and even surpassing Kirkwood here. Number 40 shooting, just missing as 30 gets the rebound for Iowa Central. And number 2 and number 4 going to work their way back down here. Number 4 looking for a way in as number 2 slips under the basket as 30 shoots for the 3 and just barely misses. Kirkwood gets the rebound. Number 4 bringing it down, trying to look for a way to drive it in here. Number 45 is going to drive it in and pop it in from the left, but just barely misses. Number 4 is going to get it and pop it back up. But unfortunately, that's not going to count. Looks like we're starting back off with Iowa Central's ball here. Looks like we have a timeout for Kirkwood here. As you can see, Iowa Central is getting very close to tying up or even surpassing Kirkwood at this point. I would say even if they still keep their current game plan, that they might be able to pull this one off without a doubt. Only time will tell because we still have about 3 minutes left in our first half. And we have a whole another 20 minutes for Kirkwood to either stay ahead or for Iowa Central to completely come back. Or maybe it will just be a back and forth of the scoreboard tonight, ladies and gentlemen. It's hard to say, but time will tell. Both teams kind of taking the time to breathe here. Just get whatever advice that they can from their coaches. Trying to conserve some energy there, which is a smart move. All right, we're popping back into this game here. Kirkwood first out on the court, ready to go, and Iowa Central's getting all ready and set up here. Going to start off with number 2, popping the ball in to number 4 as they're going to bring it down. Got Iowa Central getting set up all strategically, getting ready to get this ball up into the net. And number 4 bringing it down to the right, kind of merging over into the left lane here. As 2 gives him some cover. He pops it over the 30 down by the net. Number 30 is going to miss it, and Kirkwood's going to get the shot here. Kirkwood slipping it over to the left side. As number 2 is going to kind of pop it up and just miss. As number 2 from Iowa Central is going to get the rebound and bring it down here. Passing it down to 30, who's in the left lane. Getting very close to the basket here. There was some loose defense for a second. As number 4 from Iowa Central is going to pop it up and just sink the 2, tying us up here. With about 2.5 minutes left in our first half. The question is, who's going to proceed forward? We got number 2 from Kirkwood shooting the 3 and just missing it. As Kirkwood's also going to get the rebound again and pop it in, bringing Kirkwood ahead once again. 34-36 with about 2 minutes left. We got Iowa Central bringing the ball down here with number 2 and number 4. Number 4 is staying off in the right lane, passing it back off to number 2. Just kind of staying in the middle to the left here. Off to 4, down to 20. 20's going to work his way towards up the right lane here. Back to 32, staying in the middle. Number 2 passing off to number 30 here to 32 to 4. Shooting for the 3 and sinking it in. Bringing Iowa Central ahead here with about 1.5 minutes left in our first half. We got Kirkwood, number 15 and number 2, and 0 here. Kind of trading off. 0 looking for a way in, but number 2 is going to shoot the 3-point and just miss. But number 45 from Kirkwood is going to get the rebound and try to put it up here. Looks like we got a bit of a travel on number 45 there, unfortunately. All right, we got Iowa Central bringing the ball down here with number 2 and number 4. Number 2 popping off to number 4 in the top left lane, bringing it down to number 20. Back off to number 2. 32 staying towards the middle, but he accidentally passes it to a Kirkwood number 20. Number 15 working around here, trying to get through Iowa Central's defense, passing off to 0, back to 2. Passes it up to number 20, but 20 loses grip, and it goes out of bounds, making this Iowa Central's ball once again as Iowa Central stays 1 point ahead with about 48 seconds left on the clock.
30 seconds timeout, Iowa Central.
Looks like we got timeout for Iowa Central here. Yeah, Iowa Central bringing the ball down here with number 4. keeping distance in the top right lane, kind of looking for an opening here. As you can see, Kirkwood's defense is a little bit more spread out, trying to keep Iowa Central from playing even range battle at this point. Looks like number 30 is going to get the ball and try to make the layup. But he gets the ball snagged from him by 0 on Kirkwood. Now Kirkwood kind of taking their time with 0, kind of taking advice here. Looking for an opening. We got about 8 seconds left on the clock. 6, 5, 4. Looks like number 4 from Iowa Central is going to get the ball and try to drive it in, pop it in from the right lane, and he just misses it. That brings us to our halftime with Iowa Central staying at 37 and Kirkwood staying at 36. As this has been an extremely close game, I'm anxious to see how our next half will play after this 15-minute break for both of our teams. Right back here. And here we are back in our second half with the Iowa Central Tritons versus the Kirkwood Eagles. Last time we left off, Iowa Central was at 37, just 1 point ahead of Kirkwood with 36. We're starting out this half with Kirkwood with number 15, bringing it up with the middle. Passing off to 2, over to 20, then back to number 15. 15 passing off to number 2, up closer to the basket. Looks like they're trying to drive it in a bit more here. Number 20 popping it up for the 2. I don't believe that's good. Oh, nope, that does count, putting Kirkwood ahead by 1 point. Looks like he's going to get one shot here. Looks like Kirkwood is definitely kind of switching up the game plan here a little bit, without a doubt. Trying to use a little bit more distance as well. So using a bit more teamwork here to kind of help each other and work their way up to the basket here. As he sank the free throw, bringing Kirkwood to 39. As Iowa Central, number 2, popping it over to 50. Back to number 2, staying in the middle here, popping it over to 30 in the right lane. Passing off to 4 in the bottom right, popping it up, and just sinks it in. Bringing us up to 39 to 39. Bringing Iowa Central and Kirkwood neck and neck with number 15 from Kirkwood, driving it over to the right, kind of popping it up, but just missing the distance shot. With 50 from Iowa Central, getting the rebound, driving it straight down into the middle, passing it off to the side with 32, backing it out, kind of gaining some distance over to 50, trying to sink the 3, but just misses as number 2 from Kirkwood gets the rebound, passing it over to 15, 15 over to 0, staying on the left side, 0 passing it over to number 20, then over to number 3, staying on the right side, back to 0 in the left side of the lane, 0 passing it back to number 3, kind of trying to maneuver their way around Iowa Central here. Iowa Central definitely have been changing up their defensive tactic here. Definitely kind of keeping them away from even doing distance shots at this point. But 0's going to pop it up here, getting 2 for Kirkwood, bringing us to 39 to 41. Iowa Central having 4 drive the ball down here. Kind of staying on the right middle side, merging to the middle, popping over to 30, 30 to 50, 50 over to 4 on the left side. 4 driving it straight down into the middle, popping over to the left side over to 50, to 32 to 30, trying to sink the 3, and he just barely sinks the 3 as 2 from Kirkwood gets the rebound, passing it over to 0, and 0 is going to bring it down the left lane here. Kind of moving in on the middle, over to the right side to drive it in and pop the right side layup just a miss as 30 from Iowa Central gets the rebound, popping it over to 50. 50 is going to drive it straight in here from the right side. Looks like we got a bit of a foul here. We got a push from number 20 on Kirkwood. This is going to be Iowa Central's ball. As number 4 from Iowa Central is going to throw the ball in here. We'll see if Kirkwood can get the ball, get the rebound, or if Iowa Central can make the shot here. 4 is going to pass it in. Looking for a straight opening here. Passing it all the way out to 50. 50 looking for an opening to move in. Passing it over to 5 here. 5 driving it in from the right side, just barely misses as Kirkwood gets the rebound. Number 3 is bringing it down the right side here. Popping it over to 0, staying at the top left. Down to 15 in the bottom left. 20 trying to help out 15. 15 moving to the middle and popping up the left side layup, just missing it as 30 from Iowa Central gets the ball. Rebounds the ball, passing it over to 2. Iowa Central definitely trying to move in a bit more now instead of play the range game. Passing over to 50. 50 going for the range shot here and just missing it as Kirkwood, number 20, gets the ball. Kirkwood bringing it down the right lane. Back up to the middle with number 2. Number 2 looking for an opening. Passing over to 0 on the left side. 0 trying to drive in. Passing off to number 15. 15 kind of looking for an opening. 0 taking the 3 shot and he just barely misses as Kirkwood gets the rebound. Popping over to 3 at the top of the lane. Back to 15. 15 looking for some support here. Kind of stuck. 20 helping him out. 15 getting out of there. Passing off to 0 to 20 in the bottom left lane. Back to the top left lane with 0. Popping the 3 and sinking it. Bring us to 39 to 44 for Kirkwood with about 16 and a half minutes left in our second quarter. We got number 4 from Iowa Central driving it down the right. Over to 30. Trying to work his way to the top middle. Number 4 looking for an opening here. Trying to drive it down the middle. He pops it up. just misses it as Kirkwood gets the rebound. 0-2 and 15, bringing it all down as they spread out to the left, right, and middle lanes. 0 popping off to 20 at the top middle, down to 15 in the bottom left lane as he makes the layup, bringing them to 39-46 for Kirkwood. As Iowa Central's looking to get a bit of a comeback here as they kind of slipped up a bit. It's 2 from Iowa Central, passes down to number 32 as he kind of brings up on the right to try to get the distance, but he just misses it. Number 2 from Kirkwood gets the rebound and passes off to number 0. 0 coming in on the right side, then driving it in on the middle. Passing off to 3 to go for the 3. Looks like we got a bit of a problem. This is going to be Iowa Central's ball, but it looks like we got a bit of a timeout. Oh, no timeout, but we got subs in. And number 15 passing it over to 4 here for Iowa Central. Number 4 taking his time as he goes to get over the line here. Iowa Central playing this a bit more strategic here, trying to find an opening to just drive the ball in there. We got number 2 looking for an opening on the right side. Looks like we got a bit of an issue there. I believe this is going to be Iowa Central's ball. Number 4 is going to take the ball out of bounds and pop it into one of his teammates. Number 4 looking for an open shot here. Just bouncing it off of Kirkwood player's leg. Making this Iowa Central's ball once again with about 15 and a half minutes left. 39-46. Number 4 for Iowa Central. Looking for an opening. Passing the ball over to number 2 at the top of the lane. Looking to drive it in. Passing off to number 50. 50 looking for an opening on the left side. Passing it off to 20. Still on the left side. Back to 5 at the top middle. Back to the bottom left with number 2. From the left, he shoots for the 3. And he just barely misses it as Kirkwood gets the rebound with number 15. Driving the ball down on the right side. Popping it over to number 45 as he goes in for the layup on the right side. And he sinks it for 2. Bringing us to 39-48. About 15 minutes left on the clock. We got Iowa Central looking to kind of make amends from that. Looks like they got a bit of a slip up. Went out of bounds. Got to be careful. Your toes finna get in the way and bounce that ball right out of bounds. Looks like we got a bit of a timeout here. Definitely a big change of tactics here for both teams. It definitely looks like they just completely switched their deck of cards without a doubt. Iowa Central definitely trying to play a bit more close range game as opposed to Kirkwood, which seems to be going for still a lot of close range, but definitely it's utilizing 3-pointers and more range shots a lot more nowadays. Iowa Central definitely still trying to play this as strategically as possible, whereas Kirkwood is just doing their best to keep Iowa Central away from the basket and just definitely keep swiping the ball out of their hands. From what I've seen so far, both teams have been keeping themselves very calm and well-minded here, without a doubt. There's not too much aggression, and that's going to be 2 for Kirkwood, with number 45 making the right side layup. So we got 50 and number 4 coming down on the right side with 2 passing back off to 4. 4 kind of backing off here, passing over to 30. 30 back to 50 from outside the right lane here, popping it in from the right side to sink the 2 for 41-50 with about 14 minutes and 15 seconds left. Looks like we've got a bit of a problem there. Looks like a bit of a disagreement among the crowd here. Definitely a bit of a disagreement here. Aside from that, we got Iowa Central number 4 and number 50 bringing the ball down. Number 50 on the left side, number 4 on the right. Merging over to the left side as I switch sides here. As number 50 is going to try to drive it from the right side as he sees a clear opening, and he sinks the 2, bringing us to 43-52 with about 14 minutes left in our second half. We got Kirkwood coming in on the right side, passing up to 20 at the top middle, over to the left top with 40. Number 4, I mean. 4 passing off to number 5. Back to 13. 13 tries to go for the 3 and just barely misses as Kirkwood is going to get the rebound. Passing off to number 13 as he's going to go in for the left side layup as he sinks it for 2. Bringing us to 43-54. Iowa Central is going to try to come back from this. We got number 4 looking for an opening here. Going to try to throw the other players off guard as much as they can. We got 50 coming in from the right lane up to the top middle. We got number 4 coming in from the right lane to get the ball. Seems to be driving from the middle, but passes off to 2 to kind of lay back a bit as 30's going to take his time, passing off to number 50. 50's going to pass off to number 30. He's going to sink the left side layup, bringing us to 45-54 with about 13 minutes left in our first half. Our second half. We got number 5 from Kirkwood just going up and missing the layup, but that's going to be 2 shots for him as it's a foul on Iowa Central. Got number 5 from Kirkwood sinking the free throw there, bringing us to 45-55 with 13 minutes left on our second half. Number 5 missing the shot as Iowa Central is going to get the ball, get the rebound there. As number 2 from Iowa Central is going to bring the ball around here, passing it off to number 4. Number 4 driving in at the left side, going in for the left side layup, but just misses barely. Looks like that's going to be 2 shots for Iowa Central and a foul on Kirkwood. Number 4 just barely missing that free throw for Iowa Central. The current score is 45-55. Got number 4 going for his second shot here. And he sinks it in, bringing us to 46-55. We got Kirkwood getting the ball here and trying to make a quick recovery. Number 5 coming in, blitzing into the left side, trying to make the layup, but just misses as number 2 from Iowa Central is going to get the ball and bring it down to the middle lane. Passing off to 30, staying on the right side, passing off to 4 here. Back to 2 in the bottom right lane as he shoots for the 3, and he sinks it. Bringing us to 49-55 with about 12.5 minutes left in our second half. And number 5 for Kirkwood, passing off to 20, down to 4 in the left lane. Number 4 driving it in the left lane here, passing off to 20 in the middle, over to 45 in the right side as he sneaks up the 2-pointer for 57. We got number 2 for Iowa Central coming down on the right side, blitzing over into the middle, passing off to 20 in the left, then to 4 in the left, shooting for the 3, just barely misses it as Kirkwood gets the rebound. Rebound's going to pass it off to number 5 for Kirkwood. Number 13 staying in the left lane. Number 45 staying in the left lane as well. 13 kind of moves up to the top middle. Kirkwood's going to get the rebound and sink it in for 2. Bring us to 49-59. Iowa Central seems to be falling behind here a little bit, but they have plenty of time to try to come back from this. It seems like they're just trying to find a way to blitz their way into the basket. Number 2 from Iowa Central looking for an opening here, as you can see. Kind of getting caught up in a scuffle there. As Kirkwood is definitely trying to hold down the middle lane, as 30 from Iowa Central sinks a 3 for 52-59 with about 11 minutes left. As you can see, it looks like Kirkwood's taking a page out of Iowa Central's defensive handbook by the looks of it. Kind of staying in the middle lane, covering them so then they can't really do any close quarter stuff. But also keeping a few players on them so then they can't use their long-range tactics either. Looks like Iowa Central is going to get the rebound here from Kirkwood. Number 50 going to drive it in on the left side of the lane and sink the 2, bringing us to 54-59 with about 10.5 minutes left. Looks like we got a timeout here. Well, without a doubt, an explosive second half that we have here, as Kirkwood is definitely seems to be utilizing some of Iowa Central's tactics from the previous quarter here, and definitely using it against them. That is definitely what I meant about like analyzing your opponents, not just the team, but your opponents as well. As you can tell that most of the players from Iowa Central in the first quarter were mostly using range tactics as opposed to a close range game. So it seems like Kirkwood, because in the first quarter they were definitely trying to just get as close to the basket as they can, which is smart to do. But also, if you're good at the range game, then you can pull it off pretty well, as Iowa Central was doing in the first quarter. But it seems like Kirkwood has definitely taken a page out of Iowa Central's handbook and has started to kind of do the same thing here, utilizing range and close range to their advantage, and also switching up their defense a bit, so they're kind of covering the middle lane a bit more, similar to how Iowa Central was doing in their first quarter, kind of preventing any close range encounters there. But they're also guarding their range shooters, as you can tell. But here we got Kirkwood with 0 passing off to 3 in the top left lane. Number 3 gonna work over to the middle, passing off to 0 in the top left. Back up to 3 in the top middle. And over to number 15 in the top middle. Back down to 3 in the bottom right as he's going to plow through and sink a 2 from the middle lane. Bringing us to 54-61 with about 10 minutes left on the clock in this second half. Iowa Central trying to work around. As you can see, they're just holding down the middle lane while also keeping a good amount of defense on their more distant shooters, without a doubt. As Iowa Central just kind of trying to find a way to work around this. As number 2 is going to try to blitz in the middle, but pass it off to 20, who's going to sink the 3, bringing us to 57-61. We got Kirkwood getting the ball, trying to sink it up. It looks like there's going to be a foul on Iowa Central. Looks like we got a bit of a disagreement between the refs and the coaches here. As you can see, coaches are very passionate about their teams right now, as they should be. And both teams are very passionate as well. As Kirkwood, number 20, is going to shoot for a free throw here and just misses the first one. The current time being 9 minutes and 30 seconds left, with Iowa Central at 57 and Kirkwood at 61. As Kirkwood, number 20, is going to miss the second free throw as well. As number 2 for Iowa Central is going to kind of drive down the middle lane here, passing it off to the right lane with number 4. Then down to the deep right lane with number 30. 30 coming up to the top middle, over to 20, then back over to 4. Staying in the top left lane here, passing off to 50 in the top right. 50 looking for an opening here, passing it off to 30. 30 driving to the middle and popping up to get the 2. He's also going to get the free throw shot as well. With 9 minutes left, Tritons 59, Eagles at 61. Number 30 going to pop the shot up, and he sinks it in, bringing us to 60-61. Iowa Central coming back here. Kirkwood trying to shut them down, without a doubt here, using some teamwork to wake their way up to the basket and sinking it in for 2 with number 15. Also pressing, trying to play some more aggressive defense as well. Number 50 getting the ball from number 2 as number 2 threw it in. Number 50 for Iowa Central, back to number 2 from Iowa Central. Coming down the left lane here, looking for an opening, looking for some backup here. Looks like some players are getting a bit frustrated trying to find some openings here, as Kirkwood is playing a very aggressive defense right now. As number 30 is going to try to push it for the right lane, but that's going to be a push. As it would have been a fantastic 3 if there wasn't a foul there. As we got 8.5 minutes left. We got Tritons at 60 and Eagles at 63. We got Iowa Central. We got number 20 popping in at the left side, trying to get the layup, but just misses. As 20 from Kirkwood's going to pass it off to number 15 from Kirkwood. 15 from Kirkwood coming in on the right side. Passing it back off to number 3 in the deep right, up to the top right with number 2. Then over to 0 at the top left, with 20 moving down the middle, and 0 coming up from the left side with that surprise. Laying the layup right there with about 8 minutes left. We got Tritons at 60 and Eagles at 65. Triton's definitely looking for a bit of a comeback here, without a doubt. Got number 4 passing off to number 2 for the Tritons. Number 2 looking for an opening, passing off to 20 in the top right. Number 20 passing off to number 4. Number 4 looking for an opening here. Trying to work past Kirkwood's defense, passing off to 20, and ooh. 20 smacks the ball to the other 20's hand for Iowa Central and Kirkwood. Looks like we had a bit of it was a little too late there as they ran the timeout. Now we're switching back over to Kirkwood. We got number 20 and number 15 bringing the ball down. Number 15 driving it down on the left side, passing it back to number 2. As I've seen before, 2 is definitely more of a range shooter without a doubt. Whereas some of his other teammates are definitely more close quarters, but as it seems here, 2 is definitely not afraid to get close quarters for Kirkwood. It looks like number 15 just sunk the 2 for Kirkwood, bringing us to 60-67 with about 7 minutes left on the clock. Will Iowa Central get a comeback here and take out Kirkwood, or will Kirkwood just plow on ahead? Looks like we had a bit of a misstep there. It's going to be 2 shots for 50 for Iowa Central. Number 50 going for the shots here. Sinks the first one, bringing him to 61. Right here in the final half of the Iowa Central versus Kirkwood Eagles game, with Iowa Central at 61 and Eagles at 67. As 50 from Iowa Central sinks the other free throw, bringing us to 62-67 with about 6 minutes and 50 seconds left. As Kirkwood's getting the ball back here, number 15 coming down on the right side, passing up to 2, somewhat towards the top middle. As you can see, 2 bringing it into the middle close range and getting the layup. Bringing us from 62 and 69. Ooh, Iowa Central just missing a layup there as Kirkwood gets the ball back. Passing it down to number 2 as 15 tries to go in. Ooh, looks like we got a bit of a problem here. And I believe that's going to be 2 shots for Kirkwood, number 20. Bit of a misstep there. At 20 from Kirkwood, popping it up, sinking it, bringing us to 70 for Kirkwood. With about 6.5 minutes left, the Tritons are at 62 and Kirkwood at 70. Are the Tritons going to make the comeback, or will Kirkwood take them out? And Kirkwood just sunk their other free throw, bringing us to 62-71. Iowa Central trying to work around Kirkwood here, passing it off to 50 for Iowa Central. Looks like we got a timeout here. One intense final half of this game with about 6 minutes and 12 seconds left on the clock, with Iowa Central being at 62 and Kirkwood being at 71. How will this second half of this explosive game end? It's hard to say. In all honesty, it could go either way. You know, it's a basketball game. It's unpredictable, especially with these two teams. Kirkwood has definitely shown that they can mix some unpredictability into their strategy and their game plan as well. But Iowa Central is not one to be doubted as well, as they have shown that they got an immense amount of heart will fight hard for this comeback here. But it's definitely not a one-sided game at all. As I predicted, it has kind of been a back and forth scoreboard game, but it seems like Kirkwood has definitely had the upper hand on the scoreboard so far. But with about 6 minutes left, we'll see if Iowa Central can make a comeback, or if Kirkwood will stay ahead, or maybe even they'll tie up. Tying up could be a big possibility for these guys, as they already have tied up before in this game. But it's hard to say if their final scores will tie up or not. We got Iowa Central starting off with the ball. We got number 2 starting at the top, moving over to the top right lane, popping it over to 4 in the top left lane. Passing over to 2 at the top right, back to 20. 20 popping it over to number 4, shooting a 3, and he sinks it. Bringing us to 65-71 for Iowa Central. We got number 5 for Kirkwood coming in on the right side, passing over to 40 at the top left, then over to 4, staying at the top left lane, over to 13 at the top right lane, down to 5, 5 over to 4, 4 to 13 to the left. 13 looking for an opening. Looks like we got a bit of a problem there. This is going to be Iowa Central's ball now. As Iowa Central is going to pass it off from 20 to 30 here. 20 is going to get the ball back. Pass off to 50. 50 down to 2. 2 going to try to pass it off to 4, but gets smacked out of the way by Kirkwood. 2 passing it to 4. 4 with the 3. He just barely misses it. Kirkwood, number 13, gets the rebound here. Kirkwood bringing it down here. Passing it off to number 13, Kirkwood. Down to 4 in the bottom right lane. Number 4 bringing it up, trying to sink it up here. Looks like we got a bit of a scrapple there. Now we got Kirkwood popping it up to 40 here. 40 to 4. 4 to 45. Having a bit of a scrapple there as well. Looks like this is going to be Kirkwood's ball again, as that's a foul on Iowa Central. Looks like 45 from Kirkwood's going to get a 2-shot here. 2 free throws. Kirkwood staying ahead on the scoreboard here with 71, as opposed to Iowa Central with 65 with about 4.5 minutes left in our second half. Number 45 pops it up. Just barely misses the free throw. Number 45 getting the ball again. Popping it up and sinking it in. Bringing us to 72 for Kirkwood and 65 for Iowa Central. Number 4 for Iowa Central passing over to number 2. Number 2 at the top right lane. Over to the middle. Merging over to the left side as number 20 gets the ball. Over to 50. 50 over to the left side with number 2. Number 4 working around here. Over to 30 on the inner middle state here. Passing over to number 4, looking for the range shot, but tries to move in instead. Number 2 popping it up from the right side, just barely misses as 40 from Kirkwood gets the rebound, passing over to 13 as 13 is going to drive it in from the left side. Just misses the layup, as we got a bit of a scraffle there. I believe that is 2 points again for number 45 from Kirkwood. With about 4 minutes left, 65-72 in our second half. It's 45 pops it in, bringing us to 73. 45 popping it up and sinking it again, bringing us 65-74 with about 4 minutes left on the clock in our second half. Iowa Central's have to kind of switch up the game plan here if they want to make a comeback. They're definitely going to have to try to get a bit more aggressive, maybe a little more scrappy, without a doubt, because As you can tell, oh, there we go. See, as 30 tried to push in there, it was a little bit difficult with number 40's defense from Kirkwood. And that's going to be Iowa Central's ball here down on their side of the court. Looks like we got some yelling down on the field. On the field, the court. My bad. All right, we got Iowa Central popping the ball in with number 4 looking for the drive here. Popping it out to number 20, just missing the three-pointer. Number 4 from Kirkwood getting the rebound. Passing it off to number 15. 15 looking for an opening here on the right side. Coming in at the middle, over to the right top. And just sinks it in for the 2. Being 65-76. Iowa Central looking for a comeback here. Question is, will they get it? Number 2 passing off to 50, then to 4 for Iowa Central. Bringing it over to the middle lane here, top middle. Then over to 30. Kind of staying in the middle lane here. Over to 2 here, who's kind of stuck in the corner. Kind of works his way out, driving it into the middle from the left side. Popping it over to 20 out the outer left. 20 working it over to 4. 4 with the 3, and he just misses as Kirkwood's going to get the ball back with 45. 45 passing off to 15 here as Iowa Central is quick to get to their defensive positions here. Kirkwood looking for an opening here. As number 4 is going to pass it off to 45. 45 to 5. 5 working in at the middle here. 45 looking for the opening as he tries to pop it up. Just barely misses at his 30 from Iowa Central is going to get the rebound. Pass it off to 4. 4 coming in on the left side here. Is he going to pass it down to 2. 2 coming in on the right. Down to 5 in the bottom right. 5 working his way up towards the top middle. Popping it over to 4 in the top left. 4 working in at the middle. Looks like we had a bit of a problem there. Looks like we're going to get 2 shots for Iowa Central, number 4. As Iowa Central is going to get ready on the other side to be ready for Kirkwood when they get this rebound and come back. Unfortunately, number 4 did not make the free throw. With about 2 minutes left, we are at 65-76 in our final quarter. Iowa Central's got to do something big here to come back. As Kirkwood's going to just drive it into the middle and just miss barely. As we see some good sportsmanship there between number 20 and number 2. Number 2 got knocked down. 20 helped him back up. That's what we like to see. We like some good sportsmanship here, especially in an intense game like this. You'd expect a lot of people to be like very hot-headed here, but no. The players are actually keeping it pretty well cool right now. They're keeping it cool, playing it smart. Even in scrappy moments like that, as you can tell, like they're still being relatively chill, which is sometimes hard to find with certain teams. We're back to 2 shots with 50 for Iowa Central with about a minute and 45 seconds left. Iowa Central at 65 and Kirkwood at 76 in our second half. 50 is going to pop it up and sink the free throw, bringing them to 66. As he gets one more, we're going to see how this goes. As Iowa Central is getting ready on the other side for Kirkwood whenever they come back. 50's going to pop it up and sink the layup as well. Not the layup, the free throw. Looks like we got a timeout as well for Iowa Central. With about a minute and 45 seconds left and the score being 67-76, Iowa Central is going to have to kind of do something. They're going to have to kind of flip around their game plan here. I would definitely say try to be a little more scrappy and unpredictable. You know, do some fake outs. Try to drive it into the middle as much as they can. And I've seen that they can land their threes very, very well from either deep right or the deep left lanes. So I would say definitely try to work somewhere around that area. Maybe try to get threes when you can. You know, if the middle, as you can see, Kirkwood's defense was very tough in the middle, trying to prevent them from driving in, similar to how Iowa Central's was in the first half. So I would say if Iowa Central wants this comeback here, then they're definitely going to have to try to be a little scrappy to get to the middle, or just keep trying to shoot threes until the clock runs out. My best guess is that either Kirkwood is going to take this, they might draw up, or Iowa Central is going to have a really good comeback here. But it's hard to say with Kirkwood with a 12-9 record and Iowa Central with a 6-14 record. Depends how this will go. Who will get their win? Only time will tell, as Kirkwood's going to throw the ball in here. Zero is kind of looking for an opening here, as Iowa Central is pressing hard now with some good defense. Ball's going to be out, going to Iowa Central here. Iowa Central looking to drive the ball in here with number 4. Number 4 looking for an opening here. Shooting the distance, just barely misses. This 45 is going to get the rebound. 15. Now we got Kirkwood shooting for 2 with about a minute and 20 seconds left. It's hard to say how the rest of this game is going to play out. I feel like Kirkwood's definitely going to try to do their best to kind of speed up the clock here and kind of wait, maybe try to waste some time per se. You know, drain as much of Iowa Central's time to shoot as they can. So I'm expecting some hard defense and probably some aggressive or very passive offense. Depends. As number 2 from Iowa Central is going to drive it straight in there and get very scrappy butt for 2 points. Had a bit of a scruffy there, but is going to hopefully benefit them with the 2 free throws here, with about a minute and 11 seconds left, with Iowa Central at 67 and Kirkwood at 77. Can Iowa Central clutch it up? We will find out. As number 2 is going to shoot it up and sink the free throw there, bringing us to 68. Iowa Central definitely getting ready for Kirkwood as whether if the rebound comes out or not. So number 2 for Iowa Central. Gonna pop it up and sink it and bring us to 69 to 77. As Iowa Central is gonna press hard here by the looks of it, as they got most of their guys covering Kirkwood here. It was a fantastic move from Iowa Central. Definitely not letting them trying to get to the basket there. Looks like we got a bit of a problem here. We got Kirkwood shooting for 2 here. Number 3 shooting the free throw and sinking it in for 69 and 78 with about a minute left on the clock in our second half. As Kirkwood is definitely holding the advantage here, but I wouldn't doubt Iowa Central just yet, because with about a minute left, they might be able to pull off something big here, especially seeing how fast we got number 4 blazing in here. Popping it in, but just slipping up. Oh, hopefully number 4 is okay over there. Just kind of lacking behind. Hopefully number 4 is good. So we might have an injury for one of our players. I like to see some of the Kirkwood players actually checking up on one of our Iowa Central boys here. Grade level sportsmanship. Looks like number 4 might be okay with a little bit of a limp in his step. He might be able to be okay, as number 2 is going to drive it in at the right side and sink it in for 2. Bring us to 71 to 81. with Iowa Central playing hard defense here, just trying to get the ball back. But it looks like we got a bit of a problem here, and I believe there might have been a foul, possibly. With about 46 seconds left on the clock. We got 0 for Kirkwood, shooting for 2 here. Sinks it in, bringing us to 82 for Kirkwood and 71 for Iowa Central with about 46 seconds left on the clock in our second half. This game right now does look in Kirkwood's favor as they sink the next shot, bringing them to 83. But it's hard to say because Iowa Central, I don't know, it is unlikely until they sink the 3 like that. Looks like a 2. Sinking the 2, my bad. As Iowa Central is going to call a timeout here. It is incredibly hard to say if Iowa Central can make a comeback at this point with about 37 seconds left on the clock in our second half. Because Kirkwood's playing some decent defense here, but Iowa Central is kind of plowing through there, just driving it as quick as they can, trying to sink the 2 or the 3, whatever they can get at this point. They can use whatever that they can, whether they need to rely on free throws to kind of bump up their thing, but they need about... They're still 10 points behind from tying up here. So my best guess is that they might be able to tie up with Kirkwood, but it does look like this game is currently in Kirkwood's favor. But it's hard to say. You know, anything can happen still. I would say Iowa Central just tries to just be as fast as they can at this point, but not super scrappy. You know, you don't want to try to slip up and lose the ball. Definitely just try to get the ball back as much as they can. Play some hard defense and get the ball as fast as they can. As Iowa Central is going to be starting off on the defensive here with Kirkwood on the offensive. We got 0 passing the ball in here. Looks like he's going to pass it on into number 15 here. 15 getting a little slippery here with number 3. 15. Oh, Kirkwood working with some loose defense on Iowa Central's part here, trying to just run the clock down with about 24 seconds left. I believe that this game is in Kirkwood's favor. 73 to 83 and 24 seconds on the clock in our second half. This game looks in Kirkwood's favor, especially with 0 getting 2 shots here. He misses the first shot. Zero takes the second shot. Sinks it in, bringing us to 84. 73 to 84 with about 22 seconds on the clock. Ooh, number 30 just missing the 3 there with Kirkwood getting the ball back. It's like they're just playing a loose game here. I think Iowa Central and Kirkwood have just kind of accepted it here. As you can see, we saw a bit of some good sportsmanship there, without a doubt. But unfortunately for Iowa Central, they were not able to take home the dub tonight. But it was a close game. You know, both teams definitely fought hard. You could see that definitely both teams were putting a lot of emotion into each side, and also keeping cool heads. You know, they weren't getting too hot-headed or anything. You know, they were definitely playing it smart, playing it safe, and I saw a lot of good sportsmanship as well, which that's always nice to see. And that is going to conclude our games for tonight, as our matches from Iowa Central and Kirkwood Eagles. Safe travels to both teams as well, especially Kirkwood. But hope everyone has a good night. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the stream tonight, and we will see you all next time.